Right, good afternoon. Welcome back to another live film shopping YouTube channel. Let's get into it, man. Got a new series that I'm going to be doing right now. It's called The Top 50 Greatest Groups in Hip Hop History. It's a book that I did about 12 years ago, a decade ago. This is the book that I did, and we're going to go over the groups. We're going to count down from number 50 to number one. So it's going to be a great journey. We'll be doing this throughout the day, the rest of the day, maybe to 8:30 at the least, and then continue on and do my thing, and also continue on tomorrow, starting at 5 o'clock. Do a marathon with that. Handle my business with that um, throughout to the evening hours and continuing on Sunday. So here it is, man. We're gonna count down to the number one greatest group in hip hop. Because when you look at groups in general, like any genre you talk about, whether it be R&B, soul, funk, um, there's no such thing. It seems like hip hop, especially. There's such thing as groups. There's a time where groups dominated, other than just the solo artists. You had solo artists, but the groups would and doing their thing. They were handling their business. They were the ones that was making it happen. You had soloists, solo artists having success, but you also had groups that dominated during the era of the 2090s, the 80s. You know what I'm saying, during that time. But now, years later, I don't think there's no such thing as groups, rap groups, as used to be. So we're gonna get into it. Now, some certain groups didn't make the list that I put together, a decade ago. I think it's a good list. I think it's a great list in my eyes, even though it was done, written, put together years ago. But I still think it's relevant because there's no such thing as groups in this time of music, especially in the rap genre. So we're gonna get into um, the top 50. We're gonna start with a group that definitely made their mark. I still think they're a great group anyway, due to their body of work, and they were a very unique group. A first of its kind. You can make a case from a racial standpoint. You had two white rappers and a black DJ. You didn't see that at that time. Before the third base, I don't think you've seen it since. You know, yeah, I might be wrong about that situation, but third base was the first of its kind. You can make a case. And the things that they did as a group, MC Search, Prime Minister Pete Nice, DJ Richie Rich, they were like the Tina Marie of rap. You're a black person, you respected what they did. They were like the anti Beastie Boys. They really were. They had their skill set was what stood out with um, third base. And that's why I put them at number 50. Number 50 on my list of the greatest groups of all time. So let's get into it, man. Let's dive into it. Thanks for 7 people tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Got 14 people in the live. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, man. Helps the channel. All right, let's get into it, man. And third base. After the Beast Boys made their mark as a white group in 1986 with License to Ill, then there was third base, which had two white frontmen and a black DJ. The trio consisted of MC Search, Prime Minister Pete Nice, DJ Richie Rich. The interracial group rose to hip hop prominence during the late 80s, early 90s. Third base became one of the first successful interracial groups in hip hop history. The early beginnings of third base began with when DJ Richie Rich was a local DJ. Pete Nice was majoring in English at the University of Columbia. He hosted a hip hop show on a Columbia student radio station at the time in WKCR FM. MC Search was performing at clubs and block parties, then released a single called Hey Boy on an independent label Idlers. Sam Sever was a record producer who convinced to make MC Search and Pete Nice work together in 1987. They called themselves Three the Hard Way, but before they made their first album, the group's name was changed to Third Base. In 1989, the group released their first album, called the Cactus Album, which became very quickly acclaimed. The album went gold, which featured a song that will be one of the defining records of their career called The Gas Face. The song reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot Rap Singles chart. MC Search had tried unsuccessfully to join with the Beastie Boys. Third Base signed with Def Jam Records while having a label feud with the Beastie Boys. The Cactus Album was released shortly after the Beastie Boys walked out of their contract with the label. The Cactus Album directed attacks on the Beasties for going to Capitol Records. But in 1991, the group released Derelicts of Dialect, which had a #1 single called Pop Goes the Weasel, which was a song dealing with the new target that Third Base was targeting, which is rapper Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was also a target on other songs on the album, but Pop Goes the Weasel was a direct shot at Vanilla Ice, watering down the sound of rap to cater to a mainstream audience. With the success of the song, the album reached gold status. Pop Goes the Weasel had a hidden meaning in terms of having white rappers distancing themselves from a rapper that looks like them. Third Base made their final collaboration on the soundtrack of the movie Gladiator in 1992. Then the group called it quits, despite MC Serch, Pete Nice going their separate ways for other endeavors. The duo never reached the same success as they did when they were in Third Base, but their contributions to the genre of hip hop qualifies them as one of the truly top 50 greatest groups in hip hop history. That's what I have wrote on another 50 list. To start off the list, I had that as my commentary in the book. So, moving forward, let's get into more why they are the greatest group in hip hop. Number one, Third Base meant that hip hop legacy was becoming the first highly successful, critically acclaimed interracial rap groups. That's why they kind of like the first of its kind, because they had so much success what they were doing. MC Serch, Pete Nice, DJ Richie Rich, you know what I'm saying? They earned genuine respect across the genre with sharp lyricism, clever pop culture references, and 2 gold certified albums. That's greatness right there when you do something like that. Going to Cactus album. Now, they broke down racial barriers, earning credibility. In an era dominated by African American artists, Third Base featuring 2 white MCs defied stereotypes by earning authentic street level respect instead of relying on gimmicks. They relied on elite lyrical skill, intricate rhyme schemes, and production from hip hop heavyweights like the Bomb Squad and Prince Paul. Along with the Beastie Boys, they proved that white artists can navigate and contribute heavily to the culture without being perceived as culture vultures. Also, iconic lyrical battles and diss tracks. Third Base didn't shy away from confrontation, delivered some of the sharpest diss tracks of the golden age, like Pop Goes the Weasel in 1991. Famously took aim at white pop rapper Vanilla Ice for co-opting hip hop culture, solidifying their base reputation as gatekeepers of hip hop authenticity. Also, signature singles like cultural commentary. The catalog remains celebrated for its intelligent, witty, and socially observant lyricism. Tracks like The Gad's Face and Step Into the AM define the late 80s and early 90s sound. Their music often critiqued the commercialization of rap, taking a staunchly anti-pop stance that many fans respected. And that's why they were great, man. That's the reason why they was great. So that's it, man. The top 50 greatest groups in hip hop, I had number 50, Third Base. I think that's the perfect way to start this list when I wrote the book at the time. So I come back from doing this. I go up to number 49 as we continue on the journey. Top 50 greatest groups in hip hop. Coming up next will be number 40. Number 49. Until then, talk to you soon.